I stayed in Russia for 3 years, and my first house in Russia was in Penza. So that was where I actually did my language preparative course, and it lasted for 6 months. And in that 6 months, I stayed in just one house. Then, when I wanted to start medical school, English medium, I had to travel to Crimea State University and then rent another house. So the only reason I had to leave my house in Penza in Russia is actually because I was changing city. Even when I was going, as at then, the first house I rented in Russia then, my landlord was based in USA. When he wanted to rent the house to me, it was like he has said so many stories about Nigerians, they won't pay rent, Africans and everything. And I was trying to say, he actually can speak English, right? So I was trying to say, she can't tell me I'm not like that and everything. So at that time, even before my rent expires, I did pay my money. So even when I actually told him that I would be leaving to another city, it was like, in fact, I didn't even tell him I was leaving to another city because I could feel this connection already. I had to tell him I was coming back to Nigeria. Then was like, should he keep the house for me to come back? You need to see how emotional this man was, because I was a stressless tenant. You will not even know that somebody is even living in this house. Before month end, you don't see your money for your account, no stories, no anything. It was like, should he keep the house for me? When am I coming back? Like, can keep the house for me and wait when I come and all of those things and all that. I said, no, I'm not sure I'm coming back. And whereas I'm actually going to another city to actually study, this man kept disturbing me. The way this my landlord, my first house was disturbing me, you would think I'm owing me money. Like, it became so, I had to block him that, he's all on him, balemo. You understand? Like, because I don't know his experience with tenants and everything, for you to see a stressless African paying money regularly, not constituting nuisance, not bringing friends. If people know me that I'm always a one more mopo, why they visit me. As at then, it was only my boyfriend that was coming to the house then. Chicken, now no neighbor did not complain about you that this thing. So it was for him to now, he's now thinking like, where will I see another good tenants like this? So that was the only house I stayed in Penza. Then I moved to another city. So the other city I moved to was Crimea State, right? Crimea University. And I stayed in that house for 2 years and 6 months. That was the first and last house I stayed before I came to Russia. Before I came back to Nigeria. So the only thing that made me to leave my house in Crimea City in Russia was actually because I was coming back to Nigeria. So this is me saying, in 3 years that I was in Russia, aside the apartment I stayed, maybe serviced apartment or hotel I stayed. When you move newly to a city or to a country, you have to first stay in a serviced apartment or hotel for you to look for apartment. Aside that one, I'm talking about the house that I stayed, that I can count. I stayed in just 2 houses in Russia, right? The first one was for 6 months, and the other one was for 2 years and 6 months. And throughout my stay in Russia, I had no complaint whatsoever with my landlord, no anything. Even the house I was staying in 2 years and 6 months, it was during that time CBN blocked funds. Like, how to send money to Russia was kind of difficult then. And I explained to my landlord, there's no way I can pay you next month. I was like, no problem, no problem. Even the times I had to come back to Nigeria for hospital internship, I told him, I won't be staying in the apartment for 3 months. How are we gonna do it? Am I going to pay the money that I'm not there? And I think he waived the 3 months rent for me. So for your landlord to be able to do this means you're actually a good tenant, you are peaceful, you pay your rent at this and everything. Even when I was leaving too, I could not even stand to actually tell my landlord I'm actually leaving back to Nigeria. I actually just packed my things and I gave the key to my boyfriend, now ex, that please just do this thing. I ran away because I don't want the same episode to happen. Hey, when are you coming? Should we keep the house and everything like that? So this is me saying, when I was in Russia, I had very good, peaceful life as a tenant. But when I came to Nigeria, show me 2019, Timo Nigeria bye. Timo Rentally. Oh God, that was the beginning of. Let me even not talk about the other cities I've lived, because other cities I've lived, I've always stayed there maybe 6 months, 1 year, less than 1 year. I'm always moving. That time, if you're following my Instagram, I always moving up and down. At that time, it was not like spiritual problem. So, because somebody like me that I've traveled out before, I've stayed 3 years in a system. I'm used to what a system feels like. I'm used to paying what you get. If I pay you money, that I'm paying you this amount for months, you promise me electricity, I go see the electricity. You promise me Wi-Fi, I go see them. You promise me gas, I go see them. I paid for heater for the house to be hot when there is winter. I see him. If there is any issue in the house, in as much as that my second landlord is a Russian, typical Russian, I can't speak English. So I'll tell my boyfriend, then our ex, that please let me call the man that I have problem in my house. Before that, he will tell me that okay, he's at work now. Before that evening, the man will come. When he comes, I cannot speak the language. So I will not call my boyfriend then. He will be translating. Oh yeah, what's the problem? This thing is this. That day, they're gonna solve the problem inside my house. There was a time that I think maybe I could not reach my boyfriend there, or maybe we were fighting. I didn't want to talk to him. I had to go and knock my neighbor's door. I think it was Wi-Fi that was not working. Did I have him to call my landlord? That man came to come and sort the problem in the house. You see that way? I paid my rent. Everything that I pay for, that you see I'm gonna see. I saw everything. Loading it, no minus, even with extra gun, everything was complete. How? The agreement we had was what he gave me. But coming to Nigeria, Nigeria, I saw shaky. I want to know me. Like I said, let me not even talk about other cities I've stayed, like Abakaliki, like Owerri, like other distance. Let me talk about the city that I stayed the longest, because this is the city I've stayed the longest time, right? Because I me to hair blow. Between 2021 and 2020 alone, I have lived up to 6 to 7 houses. Mama Shikivini. This one, you stay here 1 month, you stay here 2 months. At the time, it's not looking like a spiritual problem. And then is when you try to explain to some people, they'll be like, can you come? I'm used to a working system. I'm used to getting value for my money. It's not the same. You don't want me. You know this Nigerian system, when you want to pay money for rent, right? They will tell you, don't worry, I'll do this, I will see this, I'll pay and enter. Back when landlord can pick, you will call agents. You understand? And me, if you watch my videos very well, I don't like to cheat people, and I do not like to be cheated. If you try to cheat me, you have the law to face. You see, I came back to Nigeria 2019. I have lost count of how many people I had to report to the police station, how many people I had to drag to court, how many people I had to do legal. I have lost count. Any city I stay like this, the police headquarters, if you say, do you know this guy, they always know me, because me, I don't even used to go to police division, go and report somebody, because they can say, we will transfer. The police headquarters, thematic day. That's why if you open my bag, you will see 50 naira change, because you know they're far, right? What move 15 naira no bag, you're like, bam, please, I go police headquarters. Please, your girl, come and see you. Me, I don't say I don't get that. That's your later, right? And again, another thing in Nigerian setting is you might not be able to relate with my story if you do not live alone, or if you are not a girl, if you're a guy. Because before I even made this video, I tried to call some of my male friends, and they could not really. You see, as a female, single female in Nigeria that you're not married, there's no ring in your hands, and somebody that has small stature like me might say, maybe you have an idea of what I went through. But if you're a guy, like if you're a man, or if you're a woman and you're married, you will not see shaggy like that. But if you're a single girl, and you're not somebody like me that has more social, my dear, I so shaky. So this is me saying, because of this is the sole reason I'll be relocating from Nigeria. That is the sole reason I'll be relocating from Nigeria. I have rented cheap house, this one, expensive house, this one. I've gone for the most expensive. I'm thinking that, okay, maybe let me go higher. Like maybe, if I go higher, this thing. If you guys notice, at the time, I wanted to start real estate property. I had to put down that video because I could not deal with the dishonesty in the business. I had to put down that. I know they do. Because I don't want anybody to drag me and say, if I say something, like I like to keep to my words. And that's why, if any customer or clients come now or in future and say, actually, let me do this thing. You see, the only thing that I want you people to ask that person is, what is the package that you pay for? Let that person send you the link of that video. Watch it very well with the terms and conditions ahead. You will now ask the person, how did it take happen? If you watch my paid packages very well, you will know that I used to lie over very well, because I know my type of person. I take people by their words, and that's why when you pay to me, whatever I say, it is what you get. Not like you pay for something and I say, I thought it's this thing, no, but I don't like to change mouths. And if there's any changes, maybe in the duration, if people know me, I'll come and make videos or anything. And if it's something I know that, okay, something has happened, I have to compensate for it, like that Canada work visa. You guys know, because I could not find my SIM. That was my fault. I had to compensate for the loss and use my own money to refund the clients. You pay remember in that video. So I take honesty. Like honesty is like my top priority. But you see, Nigerian landlord and agents, dishonesty is their number one watchword. I want to order Bamimbe.